Yeah, so as I was telling, sir, in the first question, you need to find the minimum of every index. So you are given a number. They can be maximum of 4 digits. So if it is less than 4 digits, okay. So what you can do here is that like you can add zeros in front, okay. Like if it is one, you can add three zeros in the beginning. If it is 10, you can add two zeros in the beginning, and then find out the minimum of every index, okay. Just a moment. Yeah. So for example, here's a minimum of 0, 0 and 1 is 0. Then you have 0, 0, 0, which is again 0. Then you have 0, 1, 0, which is again 0. And the last one is 1, 0, 0. So it's again 0. So the key for this is 0, 0, 0, 0, which is, if you represent in integer, it's 0. Okay. Simple thing. Any questions in this? Okay. I think no one has any question. Okay, so let's go to the second one, hash divided string. Okay, so I will just clear it. Okay. Okay. So basically what you have to do here is that you are given a string, okay, like let's say a b c d, okay, and you are also given an integer called k. So you divide it into n by k substrings. Okay, so every substring will be of length k, and so here you will be dividing the string into substrings of length 2. Okay, so a b and c d. Okay, so a and b, c and d. Okay, so now how you hash this. So first of all, what is the value of a? So now for every alphabet you will be having a integer. For a it will be 0, for b it will be 1, c it will be 2, z it will be 26. Okay, sorry, 25. Okay, so a will be 0, b will be 1, c will be 2, d will be 3. So addition of a and b is 1, addition of c and d is 5. Okay, now you will be taking the mod of 26. So every time what you have to do, you have to take the value of the alphabets according to this hash table, add them in the string where like a and b, 0 and 1, 0 and 1 you are adding. Then you will divide the sum modulo 26. Okay, so 1 mod 26 is 1 and 5 mod 26 is again 5. Okay, now what does 1 correspond here? 1 is equivalent to b, so b, this is, what is 5? If you see, 5 is f. Okay, 5 is f, so you will be writing f here. So your final encoded string is bf. Okay, so here what you need to do here is that like you simply divide the string into substrings, find the sum of the substring modulo 26, and then encode it back using this table. Okay, so the first two problems are very straightforward. Anyone who didn't solve the first two problems or were having problems in the first two? Hello. Anyway, no issue. So I think the first two was very simple. Anyone has? Okay, cool. So what's the third question? So anyone has solved the third question? So it says that you are given two positive integers n and k. Okay, so now you have to find that whether an integer is k palindromic or not. So what is k palindromic? So let's say x is k palindromic. Okay, so x has to be a palindrome, and x is divisible by k. Okay, and x has to be of n integers. Okay, so x will be of n digits, not integers, digits. Okay, so I have to find the number of x of n digits that is k palindromic. Okay, this is the question. Okay, and let me tell you, n can range from 1 to 10. Okay, and k can range from 0 to 9. If I'm, yeah, 1 to 9. Okay, so there is a trick here. So can anyone guess that how can we use brute force using the, I would say, features of a palindromic number? Hello.
Like in which sense?
Sorry.
Like in which sense?
Like, what's the feature of a
Features
palindromic
of.
number? Like, let's say, can we brute force or check every number from 1 to 10 to the power 10? Can we brute force this? Because x will vary from 1 to 10 to the power 10 maximum, right? Because n is less than equals to 10. And x can contain at most n digits, right? Hello?
Yeah, so like pretty much if you check the half of the number, then
Yeah,
it
so
will
if
be
I check
possible
half
that.
of the numbers, okay, so if x contains n digits, okay, so the first half of x will contain n by 2 digits and the second half will contain n by 2 digits, right? Now, if I brute force the first half, so if I know the first half, so let's say the first half of x is 2398. Okay, so can I make the second half of x using these numbers? Yes, because it's palindromic, it will be 8932, right? So I just need to iterate over the first half. I need to check every combination of the first half. So if n is equal, less than equal to 10, so the first half, which is n by 2, will be less than equals to 5, right? So the first half will vary from 1 to 10 to the power 5. So this range we can brute force. We can run a for loop from 1 to 10 to the power 5. So what we can do here is that we can run a for loop from 1 to 10 to the power 5. So we know what is our first half. So let's say I is, so let's say in the for loop I is 2398. Okay, so we know our first half is 2398. So we will make our second half 8932. Then we will check that whether this number 23988932 is divisible by k or not. If it is divisible, we will increase our answer by 1. Okay, and we will return out this answer. So it's as simple as that. Clear? Sakshi, Arnab, Ayush, Raj, Gaurav, Divyansh. So the trick here was that instead of iterating over all the combinations, you just iterate over the combinations of the first half. Because palindromic numbers have this uniqueness, if you know the first half, you can make the second half as well. You don't need to uh, try the combinations for the second half. You can uniquely determine the second half if you know the first half. Okay, clear? Cool. We will move to the last question of the bi-weekly. Minimum amount of damage. Now this is a good question of custom comparator. So how many of you know what's a custom comparator is? To know this, you should know how the sort library you use, how it works internally. So how many of you know what's a custom comparator is? Hello. Yeah, Gaurav, batao.
नहीं पता.
Gaurav knows. He will tell.
मतलब generally custom comparator is a function that we create. मतलब I applied this using some questions in some questions while doing CP, but I don't have much idea. But
I will
it's
tell
like
you.
we.
So let's say you use sort function like whoever uses C++, Java, Python, anything, you use a inbuilt sort function, right? तो वो कैसे काम करते हैं internally? How does it work internally? So let's say if you're doing ascending, what it checks that, let's say if there are two numbers I and j, it uses the comparator if I is less than j or not. Okay, if it is true, it puts I before and j afterwards in the list. Okay, now let's say instead of this inbuilt comparator, I want a custom comparator. Like I say that if minus, or let's say I say if I into j, or let's say just a moment, or let's say I into I is greater than j into j, I will put I in beginning and then j after it. Okay, or let's see, if I make it a bit more complex, I can say that if minus of I is greater than minus of j, I will put I in beginning and j afterwards. Okay, so now can anyone tell me what's this comparator is used for? What is this comparator? It's for sorting in descending order. Okay, are you getting it what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Keyur, yeah, go ahead.
No, like I was trying to accidentally.
Cool. So let's see what the question says. Question says that, question is very simple if you know what is a comparator. It's just two-line code. Okay. For the first time, like lead code has given some easy problems in a while. Okay. So let's say you initially have a power, like this is your initial power, which is denoted by this variable. Then you have an array called damage. It's an array. Let's say this is 1 2 3 4, and then you have a health array, which is 4 5 6 8. Okay, so now let's say what it says that you have four enemies, because uh, let's say power is 4 and you have four enemies, which is the length of the damage array, and health and damage array will have same length. Okay, so it says that the ith enemy has a health of 4 and will give you damage of 1 every time. Okay, the second enemy has a health of 5 and will damage your health 2 per second. Okay, unless it's destroyed. Okay, now how can you kill the enemies? So let's say if you are attacking the first enemy, okay, so you are inflicting 4 amount of damage every time to a certain enemy. Okay, so for example, if you're attacking the first enemy, so in 1 second you can take away 4 power, like 4 health points from it, which is equivalent to power. So every time you hit an enemy, you will be subtracting or diminishing its health by power units. Okay, so here if you attack the first enemy, its health become 4 minus 4, which is 0. If you attack the second enemy, in the first second it will be becoming 1, and in the second it will be becoming 0. Like if it has less than, or like lesser than power health, it will become 0. Simple thing. Now second enemy will also take 2 seconds. In the first second it will be having 2, then it will be having 0. 8, it will again take 2 seconds. Okay, so understand one thing very carefully. Okay, so to kill the ith enemy, how much time does it take? Health I by power, right? Let's say this is time 1, time I. Okay, so to kill the ith enemy, it will take us health by power, right or wrong? You can take the ceiling of this. Come on guys, right or wrong, fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
Cool. So now I can make a time array, that time till which, or time it will take to kill the ith enemy. Okay, so I have a time array. Okay, Now let's say I have two enemies, I and J. So let's take two scenarios. If I kill scenario 1, scenario 2, here I kill I first, here I kill J first. Okay, so if I kill I first here, okay, how much damage I will take upon myself? Okay, so I am killing I first, so ith enemy will be alive for time I, and it will be damaging me damage I per second, right? And how much damage will the jth enemy occur? So it is alive for time I plus time j, because I will take time I to kill the first I enemy, and then it will take time j to kill it itself. Okay, into damage j, right? Now let's see if I kill j first, so it will be time j into damage j plus time I, sorry, time j plus time I into damage j, sorry, damage I, right? Now what's the difference? If you see the difference, what's the difference? So time I damage I, time I damage I is here also. Okay, and time j damage j, time j damage j is here also. So here the unique term here is that time I into damage j, and here it's time j into damage I. Okay, so now it's very clear that if this value is lesser, okay, if time I into damage j is lesser, I will kill I first. If time j damage I is lesser, I will kill j first. Okay, so basis on this value, I will decide which to kill first, I or j. Okay, and what is time I? It's basically health I into damage j by power, right? And this is health j into damage I by power. So you can take out power from every side. So the deciding or the comparator that we are going to use is health I into damage j and health j into damage I. Okay, so if this is less, I will kill I first. Okay, and if this is less, I will kill j first. Okay, clear till here, everyone?
Yes.
Cool. So now we will use a custom comparator. So we will make an array called order, the order in which we will kill the enemies. And how are we going to decide the order? Using a custom comparator. How will we make the custom comparator? We will have I and j, and we will tell the custom comparator that check the values of health I into damage j and health j into damage I. If this is less, put I first in the order. If this is less, put j first in the order. Okay, so we will be using this comparator. Okay, and we will be having the order of the enemies in which we will kill them, and simply then kill the enemies in this order and keep on calculating the power you would deal with every time, and that's your final answer. Okay, so deriving this equation or deriving this custom comparator was the main goal of the question. Clear? Okay, Arnab, Ayush, Divyansh, Raj, Sakshi has left anyway. Cool, Arnab has got it. Nice. This is the beauty of custom comparator, you can do a lot of things. So like whenever you see na, there is there is a thing to decide which one to do first or which one टू डिसाइड लाइक कौन सा पहले करना है, ऐसे कुछ डिसाइड करने का रहा, तो you can simply think of that what's the deciding factor, what's the expression coming up, and then use this expression in a custom comparator. Okay, now let's go to the weekly contest discussions. So the first question says that you are given a chessboard. Okay, so chessboard, I think everyone has played chess once in their life. So this is A B C D E F G. Let's say it has one more H. Okay, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So uh it says that you are given two boxes, okay, like A1 and let's say B3. Okay, you have to tell that whether they are of the same color or not. Okay, so it's very simple that you decode A as 1, B as 1 2, C as 3, so on till here. Okay, and simply check that whether A plus this 1 and B means 2 here, A means 1 here. Okay, B plus 3 has the same parity or not. Okay, if it has the same parity, it will be of the same color, otherwise not, because you can see that this is, if this is black, this will be white, this will be white, and this will be black again. So the checkboxes having the same some parity will be of the same color. Okay, clear? Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
got it.
Cool. We will go to the next question. Okay, so it says that you are given a set of queries. Okay, so initially, like there's a grid. Okay, like initially there's a grid, and you are at the center 0 comma 0. So there is a set of queries where you will be given x and y, so that you have to put the obstacle x, you have to put a obstacle at coordinate x and y. For example, if this is x and y, you have to put a obstacle here. Okay, let's say. Okay, and every time after putting an obstacle, okay, like you will have to find out the kth smallest or the kth nearest obstacle. Now the distance of the obstacle x and y is modulo x plus modulo y. Okay, so if this is minus 2 and 3, the distance from the origin is 5. Okay, so you have to find the kth nearest obstacle after the queries. If there are less than k obstacles, you simply return minus 1. Okay, question is clear to everyone?
Yeah, it's clear.
Ayush, Raj, Divyansh has been very quiet. uh Keur, Arnab, is the question clear? Okay,
Yes.
so how do you do this? Very simple, it's a heap question.
Yeah, we'll use a max heap,
Yeah,
and when the heap size will increase, we can remove from the top.
yeah, so basically we will be using a max heap, and our heap will be based on the distance, so we'll be storing the coordinate and the distance. So for this we will be storing 5 and minus 2 and 3. Okay, it will be a max heap. So our, and we will maintain the size of the heap as k. Okay, so if the heap size is less than k, we insert this into the heap. Okay, and if we see that after inserting it the size of the heap becomes more than k, we simply take out the element on the top of the heap. Okay, like we take out the k plus 1th obstacle from the heap, so that we maintain a heap of size k every time, so that basically in layman terms we are maintaining the nearest k obstacles every time. We are keeping a track of the all the nearest k obstacles every time. Okay, so when we get an obstacle, we calculate the distance and we put the pair of distance and point in the heap. If we see that the heap size has gone to k plus 1, that means we have k plus 1 obstacles now. But do we need k plus 1 obstacles? No, right? Because we only need the first k obstacles, as we need to find the kth nearest obstacle. We don't need the obstacles further than k obstacles. Okay, so we discard the k plus 1th obstacle, and every time we need to figure out the answer, we just take the top of the heap, which gives us the kth nearest obstacle. Clear? Raj, Ayush, Gaurav, Arnab, Divyansh. Great.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next question. Next question is pretty simple as well. It's a deep bit masking DP. I have a grid. Okay, I have a grid. Just a moment. Yeah, I have a grid. I need to choose one element from the rows. Okay, or let's say I want to choose some numbers. Okay, from the grid. There are two conditions. No two numbers, no two numbers can be in the same row. Okay, and no two numbers can be same. Okay, so any idea how are you going to solve this?
So when I attended this in contest, so I used a set and every time like a kind of frequency array. If the element is like occurred one, then I marked this as a like frequency in array. I marked it, and next time I do the same in the next row. But like it run well for two test cases, but when I submit it, it gave me error for like
So
another test cases.
basically, we will be first flattening the grid. Okay. So let's say we will be storing the number. So let's say this is 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay. So we will be storing the number and the row number. Okay. So this is row 0. So we'll be storing 20, 30, 40, 80. And then let's say we have 10 here. So 10, 1. Then this is 11. So 11, 1. Okay, we will be flattening the grid and then we'll be sorting it in the descending order. So we'll be having 11 1, 10 1, 8 0, 3 0, 2 0. Now the question is very simple. I need to pick up numbers from this list. Okay, so that, and one more thing, what we will do here is that, so when we are picking up numbers from this, we just need to make sure that the number we are choosing hasn't been chosen before and the row we are choosing hasn't been chosen before. Okay, so we will maintain a dp I row mask. Okay, and we will also maintaining a set of I row mask. Okay, so just a moment, somebody is at the door.